Friends, hey, it's time to go live for the show tonight. I'm Bernard Watts, and I just want to let you know you're watching Sports Talk with B. Watts Entertainment, and I'm your host, Bernard Watts. Just want to stop by here and just talk about it for a few minutes. Duke Colorado and Coach Prime have the horses and the dogs on the defensive side of the ball to stop the run and win the Big 12. If you tune in right now, and if you watch this broadcast later on, do me a favor, if you don't mind. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, share the videos with a friend and a loved one, and hit the bell notification. It will let you know that whenever I go live and drop a new video. Will you do that for me? All right, let's start this show off, okay? Got my new mic. Want to see how this gonna work? Sound is good. So my question is that Duke Colorado and Coach Prime, through this transfer portal and the players that returning back next year, have the horses and the dogs that Coach Prime keep talking about to stop the run and win the Big 12 this year in college football. Let's take a look. Let's take a dive inside the roster of the Colorado Buffaloes on the defensive side of the ball. All right, first player we want to look at, let's look at defensive lineman Amir McNeil Jr. He played last year, which we did some good things last year. Now I'm finna tell you about the write-up that's in the Colorado Buff Zone about McNeil. After playing sparingly at Tennessee, he transferred in from Tennessee. He was a Vial. McNeil transferred and became a key member of the Buffalo's defensive line. He started only 4 games, but he was CU best defensive lineman. He led all the linemen in tackles with 31, and he had a total of 3 sacks. He had a total of 7 tackles for losses. That was good. He had a good first season, meaningful playing time. It's naturally to expect McNeil to take the next step to be an even more dominant player for Colorado up front this year. And I agree. So we're looking for McNeil to start this year on that defensive line, and also on the other side of him, the right side, I'm looking for Shadendos. Shadendos is a transfer from Houston. Shadendo will be making his debut in this spring game, and we will be looking for to see how he plays on this defensive side of the ball. Shadendos, like everybody keep calling him, the bully on the block. That means he's the bully on the block. He block bully. He runs the block. He's Chidendo is from Richmond, Texas. Last year at Houston, he had 15 tackles and 2 sacks. This guy, I've been watching this guy on Well Off Media, the way he been moving and the way he been in the weight room. Chidendo's look like he gonna be a problem. He look like he gonna cause some problems in the Big 12 this year. So I'm looking for Chidendo's and McNeil to be the starting defensive tackle on this side of the ball for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, will they be able to stop the run? We got to see. My guess is I think they're going to do real good. So you got Shadendos on the right. You got McNeil right there on the left, in the middle on the defensive line. Them two there going to have to be the stable for that defense to stop the run. Because remember, in the Big 12, they're not a passing league. They're not a passing league. The Big 12 is not a passing league. The Big 12, they run the ball. And on Colorado's schedule is, when you look at their schedule and you look at the teams that they play, it's 4 teams on there at least have one player, running back, that rushed for over 1,000 yards this past season. That lets you know they got some running back. They gonna run the ball. They gonna run the ball. So McNeil and Shadendos is gonna be a key part of Colorado defense this year. Now, do they have any backups? Because they're going to need some backups because they're going to get tired or they could get injured. So let's see who else Colorado has to put on that defensive line. I'm going to be looking for. I want to see the guy that transferred from Alabama, Anquan Barnes Jr. He's 6'5", 214 pounds. I want to see in this spring game how he's going to respond by playing with Colorado this year. I want to see that because we really don't know how none of these players are going to watch out, right? I'm just giving my opinion and what I'm going to look for. So I'm looking to see Anquan Barnes Jr. He's 6'5", 314 pounds. He transferred from Alabama. He didn't get that much playing time at Alabama. So that means he was probably on the third string or the bottom of the pole on their depth chart. So he sees that he wants some playing time. So he came to Colorado. I want to see how he's going to respond this year when he get in the spring game. Also, I want to be looking at Shane Coates. You got Shane Coates coming back. To me, Shane Coates, he did all right, but he wasn't that impressive at the end of the season. He's 6'3", 275 pounds. He had 12 solo tackles, and he didn't have no sacks. But he coming in at his second year with Coach Prime. Let's see, will he take a step forward for this defense? Then you also have Bishop Thomas. Now, Bishop Thomas, I don't know if he's still on the roster. I don't know if he's coming back or not. But he had 4 Tigers. He's 6'2", 305 pounds. And also, we need to look at this guy. He might be a dog, y'all. Terrence Carter. 6 Tigers, 2 sacks, 6'3", 330 pounds, 303 pounds, excuse me. Let's see how these guys perform in the spring game because we really don't know. We just going off of our expectations and we just giving our opinion of how things going to turn out. So also, we're going to be looking at B.J. Green. He's the edge rusher. He transferred in from Arizona State. He originally wanted to go to Texas A&M, but when Jimbo Fisher got fired, he decommitted from there and came to Colorado to be with Coach Prime because Coach Prime coached him when he was a youth in Atlanta, Georgia. And on the other side, I'll be looking at, on that other end from LSU, he transferred in from LSU. And who is that? Quincy Wiggins. Quincy Wiggins, he's 6'6", kind of tall, but he's 265 pounds. And he came from LSU. Those are the players that I'm going to be looking for to see can they stop the run. It's very important in this conference, the Big 12, because the Big 12 is known for running the ball. Do Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffalo have the dogs and the horses to be able to stop the run against Kansas, Kansas State, Utah, Nebraska, Texas Tech? Those are the teams that have the 1,000-yard rushers coming in this year. If Coach Prime and his team can do a better job against the run than they did last year, they will be in the hunt to win the Big 12 this year. And it's going to depend all on the defensive coordinator. Who is the defensive coordinator? Robert Leviston, coming from the Cincinnati Bengals. Never called a defensive play in his career. This is going to be very interesting. He just like he on the job training, but he should have some kind of idea out of all the head coaches and all the defensive coordinator he been up under in the NFL. But I caution him. I had to caution myself too. I don't want to get caught up in this. Is that this guy is new. It's just like Coach Prime was last year. You remember when Coach Prime said, Bucky, I heard Bucky said it's a lot of things were going on behind the scene, and his dad was learning on the fly. There's a lot of things that he didn't know. Well, it's gonna be the same thing for this defensive coordinator. It's gonna be the same thing for this defensive coordinator. He got to be able to learn on the fly. Will we give him a chance to learn on the fly? Just like Coach Prime had to learn on the fly last year, because the college game is different from the NFL game. You know, you got offenses out there that run that, they run every play for about, they got 20 seconds, 15 seconds. They started calling plays. So will the defensive coordinator be able to adjust and call another play for the defense to respond to the offensive play? I mean, will he? Is he going to be in the booth, or are he going to be on the field? Will he players know when to go in or know when to come out? That's the problem Charles Kelly had last year. That's why it was so many penalty flags last year. Too many men on the field, because the offense that they were running against, they were running a play every 15 seconds. So are these players, or do we have enough players? Do we have good enough players, Dawgs, that can stop the run in the Big 12 this year? Colorado was too small, country man. The team won 4 games last year. Okay, Frankie, that ain't gonna be a big change. Well, we just have to see. Like I say, I got hopes. I got hopes, Frankie. I got hopes. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. My thing is, I'm not worried about the offense, because the offense, they're gonna be able to put up some points. They should have at least 20, 24, 20, 23, 24 points a game over there on the offensive side. My thing is the defensive side, because really, that was the problem last year. They couldn't stop nobody. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop nobody. Who do we know they're going to start on the opposite side of Travis Hunter from the cornerback position? Who? I don't know. Who we got out there? Huh? It is, what's his name? Hold on. Let me find his name. Let's see what his name. Who I'm looking for. What's his name? I had it wrote down. I had the guy's name wrote down who I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. Travis J. Will Travis J step up this year? He's 6'2", 205 from Greenville, Florida. This is his second year. Will Travis J step up this year? Carter Stoudemire. Who's going to be that defensive cornerback on the opposite side of Travis Hunter? Will it be Carter Stoudemire? He 5'11", 205. Do we have Preston Hodges? He 5'10", 195. Like I said, who's that cornerback that's going to be on the opposite side of Travis Hunter that will come up and stop that running play? Come up and hit. That's what I'm looking for. That's why I'm having questions about the defensive side of the football for Colorado. Who's going to step up and be that thumper? Now, also, I got to look at the middle linebacker position. They're weak. So you telling me Trevor Woods going to be that linebacker? Is Trevor Woods good enough to be the good linebacker? Last year, he just couldn't do it for me at the middle linebacker position. I want Trevor Wood back there at that safety spot. That's why I'm hoping Coach Prime in April, when that transfer to open again, find him a middle linebacker that's a dog, man, that can go side to side, left to right on that football field at a high pace and a high motor. That ain't scared to put his head in there, that can read a defense. That middle linebacker got to be a cerebral person, a thinking person, to put the players in position, whatever Robert Leviston play he called, and hold the players his front line. That's what I'm looking for, y'all. Right now, I just don't see that person on this roster. Right now. As of right now, if they start the game today, or tomorrow morning, or tonight, Colorado don't have a middle linebacker. They might have one on the field or somebody that I don't know nothing about. They could. Because I'm not an insider. I'm just guessing. That's all. I'm giving my opinion. I just don't see them having that middle linebacker. Now the safety, we got Shiloh. I'm finna tell you what they wrote up about Shiloh. The Puff Nation. Puff Zone, I mean. Shiloh. There's no question he makes an impact plays. He was second on the team with Tigers, that with 67 Tigers, and he also had a 90-yard interception return for a touchdown to spark the win against Colorado State. Nationally, only 2 players forced more fumbles than Sanders. With 4, it would be difficult to find a safety that hit harder than he does. Sanders is known for the big hits. However, sometimes led to him whiffing and getting beat on pass play. Now that's true. That's true. All right. The next step for him is to tighten up his game in coverage. That's true. I gotta go along with that. He got to step up his game in coverage for the sure Tigers at times rather than going for that knockout blow. I agree with that. Instead of going for the knockout blow, he need to make sure his coverage is right and make sure he come up and make the sure Tigers and don't whiff on the Tigers. Don't let no wide receiver just run by him because he's going full blast trying to give that knockout hit. So that's what I'm looking for Shiloh to clean up this year. And I'm sure the new defense coordinator, Rob Legacy, I'm sure he's going to clean that up. I'm sure of that. He's going to work with Shiloh on that. I'm sure Coach Prime don't put him on that. I know that for a fact. Now let's see what they say about Travis Hunter. I think they had a run-up on him on Travis. They did. Let me find it. Y'all hold tight. All right, here we go on Travis Hunter. The Buffer Zone, this is what they said about Travis Hunter. Might be the most talented player in the country, and he's the only full-time two-way starter. He was an All-American last season. He could only actually be better. A top priority for Hunter has to be playing a full season, which he has not done yet in 2 years of college football. He missed 5 games in 2022 at Jackson State, and he missed 3 last year. But he still caught 57 passes for 721 yards and 5 TDs on the offensive side of the ball last year. Defensively, he made a couple of insane interceptions and played very well. But Hunter is striving to be the best cornerback in the country and get there. He's got to be more consistent. Yeah, he got to be more consistent on the defensive side of the ball. The offensive side of the ball, I ain't worried about Travis on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, he going to catch that ball. To me, is he got to work on, he got to be more attention. Yeah, to details on the defensive side at cornerback. I'm not worried about Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is him. He's going to be able to take care of his responsibilities this year. I believe he's locked in. He ain't worrying about the outside noise. He done got married and everything. He more settled. You see, Travis Hunter didn't even go out to the Super Bowl out there to Vegas. He didn't even go out there. This dude ready. He ready. He ready to secure his bag for his family. So I know he locked in. My concern is over there, the opposite side of him, do Colorado have the player or have a dog cornerback other than him on the opposition side? And will they come up and stop the run? Because when they run that trap play, the other teams, they coming around their edge. Can that cornerback come off that block from that wide receiver and come up and make the tackle? So they won't get a big game out of that. Do we have that player? Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel while you're in the chat. If you don't mind, I appreciate that. But like I say, does we have the horses and the dog to compete in the Big 12 this year against the run? Do we have the players? Can we count on Carter Stoudemire? Can we count on Travis J? Can we count on Cameron, Simeon Craig at the safety position? Can we count on him? Can we count on Trevor Wood? I don't want to see Trevor Wood at middle linebacker. He's too small. He can't read defenses. I want to see him back there at safety. And I really don't want to see him on the field. I want Coach Prime, and I hope one of these guys step up and be a better player than what I saw last year. Preston Hodge, can we count on him? Kamani McClain. Will Kamani McClain make a bigger step in his second year on this team? Will he? It remains to be seen. We got to wait and see for this spring practice game. Shane Coates. Will Shane Coates make a big jump this year? Bishop Thomas. Will he make a big jump this year? These are the players that played last year. Me personally, I do not want to see them on the field this year. It just wasn't good enough to me. They wasn't good enough to me. Quincy Wiggins, I want to see him. I want to see him be able to rush the pass and also stop the run. BJ Green, the same way. I want to see him put pressure on the opposition quarterback and also be able to stop the run around the ends. I want to see that from BJ Green. That's what I'm looking for. I believe that BJ Green is going to be a stud. I'm looking for him to be the leader of the defense. I'm looking for him to be a captain on the defense. McNeil, 6'4", 295 pounds. Hey, he just his second year from Swanee, Georgia. He had a good year last year. I'm looking for him to even have a better year this year. Shedendo, same way. The Bulldog, the bully on the block. I'm looking for him to come out and stump his stuff. Yeah, I'm looking for him to stuff that run this year and have an impact on the defensive side of the ball for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffalo. Because their problem last year, even though we keep saying it was the offensive line, but to me, they were scoring enough points to win games. It's just that they couldn't stop the run on the other team offense. That was back in the Pac-10 last year. But now we're in the Big 12. This is where they run the ball. Like I say, it's 4 teams that runs the ball well in the Big 12 this year. They have 4 running backs that gain over 1,000 yards. That's why I asked the question, do they have the horses and do they have the dogs to dominate? Coach Prime want to dominate the defensive side of the ball for Colorado this year. Do they? Do they have the horses? Simple yes or no. Put it down in the comments. Well, if you're tuning in or watch later, do they have the horses? And who is the key player that I should be looking for to stop this run coming up this year? Who's that player? Do Colorado have it? It's remained to be seen. So the Robert Levingston, the defense coordinator, he got his hands full, and if he has a good year, Colorado's gonna win the Big 12. If the defensive coordinator is good and he have a good year and he put his players in the position so that they can succeed, they should have no problem going 10-2 and winning this conference. It's going to be challenging for them. And I just don't see the players that they have on the defensive side. Like I say, I'm not worried about the offensive side. I'm worried about the defensive side of the football for Colorado and Coach Prime. Do they have the players? Do they have the dogs to be able to stop the run this year on the Colorado side, on the defensive side of the football? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Do they have the players? Do they have the dogs to be able to stop the run? You know, that's what I'm looking for. And if they don't, I hope Coach Prime address those positions in April through the transfer portal. I hope he addressed those positions because Coach Prime is going to need 2 more players out there transfer portal on the defensive side of the football. He don't have the linebackers, y'all. He need 1 more defensive back, and he might need a cornerback. If he don't have the cornerback on this roster, on the opposite side of Travis Hunter, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. But I'm looking for him because I hope they don't think they're going to just outscore everybody. That ain't the way the game goes. You're not going to blow out every team you play. If you think your offense is going to cover up your defense, they're going to be in for a long season if they think that. Just because you think you're going to score, you're not going to score 40 and 50 points every game. You're just not. That ain't the way the game go. That ain't the way the college football go. It might be a nail biter. Can your defense get their offense off the field so they can put your offense back on the field? That's going to be the key. Frankie said they don't have guys that can beat Dawgs on the line. You might be right, sir. That's what I'm looking at too. That's what I'm looking at too, sir. So we got to see. We just speculating right now. We just got to see how it turned out. I got to see spring practice. I got to see the spring game. And we got to look into see how the fall practice going to go to see do Colorado have the dogs and the players to be a dominant team in the Big 12 this year. I know Coach Brian don't want to go no 6-6. I don't want to see Coach Brian go 6-6. Minimum 8-4. Okay, I'll take that. But I'm looking for him to go 10-2. I'm looking for him to be dominant. No matter where they go, at home, on the road, I'm just looking for him to be dominant. And the only way you can be dominant, your defense got to be the number one. They got to be the number one things on your team. They got to be the number one players on your team on the defense side of the ball. Defense win championship. Can you stop another player drive? Can you stop another team from scoring on you? And that's on the defensive side of the football. Defense wins championship. Not the quarterback, not the wide receiver, not the running back, not the offensive line, not the head coach. Defense. Defense win championship. Offense will help you win a game, but defense will get you a championship. If that defense do everything I'm hope they can do, if these players from last year has grown and gotten better, they can be able to help. And do we have the depth on the defensive line to survive the Big 12 running game this year? Do we have that? Do we have the depth? Do we have the dogs? Do we have the players to be dominate in the Big 12 and be able to survive the Big 12 running game this year? Because they got some horses in this Big 12. If you look at their records and the team that they're playing this year, they got at least 4 to 5 teams that players, running back, that don't rush over 1,000 yards last year. So my concern is, do we have the horses? Do we have the dogs? Do we have the players to stop this running game and be dominant in the Big 12 this year? I'm concerned about the middle linebacker position. I'm concerned about the opposite sides of Shadendos on the defensive line. And I'm most definitely concerned about the cornerback position opposite of Travis Hunt. Who's going to step up? Not just defend a wide receiver, but who's that defensive cornerback that can come up and make a hit to stop the other team running attack? Who will put their head in there? Hey, if you haven't, hit that like button, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I appreciate that. If you tune in later on, subscribe to my channel if you don't mind. Well, I just want to stop by there and bring that question up. And I'll be coming back live again on tomorrow to talk to you. And I hope to see you here with me on that day. I know the NBA All-Star game is going on. I'm sure people are watching it, and I'm going to get in there and watch it myself. But I thank you for tuning in to the broadcast. I thank you for your support. I ask that you continue to be supportive, and I pray that God continue to bless you as well as your family, spiritual, education, and financial, that you may be the person and that your family may be the family that God wants you to be. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you the next time we come on live. All right? Y'all be blessed. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Take care of yourself. Thank y'all for tuning in. I stay here for at least 30 minutes to talking, Next week, I should have my StreamYard up so I can bring on guests at different times to help me put out this content and to give you some feedback and push back against me if you disagree about what I'm saying. I'm looking forward for that. All right. Peace out, y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm getting everything together. Y'all just be patient with me. All right. Y'all be blessed. Go Buffs. Go Buff.